Assalamu alaikum, welcome to the final segment of today's NTV exclusive show. My guest today was Kahar Chowdhury, local community leader, activist, key member of the community, and a big voice to carry the community's words forward. Kahar bhai, we sort of finished off in the last segment just talking about the sort of the difficulties with with policing, as well as various issues. But we want to pick up on the lighter side of things, and we want to look at the brighter side of the community. So, I mean, tell us. I think always a good way of looking at good and looking at the brighter side of the community is looking at the comical side, looking at the funny side. I'm sure your Poplar has had its fair share of jokes and laughs, and you know, maybe you've been framed for a few times. But I'm going to put the question bang on you. I mean, yourself as a community leader, tell us about maybe a really embarrassing moment that you can share, because, you know, I think the people out there that see you as a community leader, as a role model, they need to know you're human. So there must be something that you want to share with us. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but I think
this is a message to the producer. I should stand and run out of this studio. No, right. So yes, most embarrassing. Okay. So quite a while back, I applied for a job. So they gave me an interview. I went to the interview, and it was a panel interview. So any of my prospective employers, please do not listen to what I'm about to say. So I had a panel interview. It went well, you know, I thought it was good, and additionally I had a test with that, and so there were 15 questions on the computer that you had to do. So I'd done that, and I was fairly confident about it. I went home, you know, I was happy with my performance. Next day the director calls me up, and I won't name the organization, and she goes, well, Kahar, yeah, we're giving you the job. It was a fantastic interview, and so on. And so I was delighted with that. Then she goes, before you go, I had a question. You know, we're quite puzzled. I said, what's that? She said, yeah, we wanted to know, how did you manage to get all the questions on the test wrong? Every single one of them. I said, surely that can't be right. She said, yes, every single one of them was wrong. How did you manage that? And so I was lost for words. And that was a rather embarrassing.
What sort of exam or test
it was more like a multiple choice question, you know, on the
English language.
No, nothing like that. It was different answers to particular questions, you know, in relation to the post that I applied for.
Oh, I see. Give us an example of one. Go on, share one of the questions with us. Go on.
I can't recall it now. No, it's quite a while back.
So you got every single question wrong.
Wrong.
And you got offered the job.
Yes, I got the job.
For those of you that are watching out there, that is not good advice. Please don't follow this. Don't send an interview. Get all the questions wrong. Not. Clearly, Kahar bhai had the right smile and he got the job. But wow, that's amazing. You get every single answer wrong in the question and you get the job. Brilliant, brilliant. You got to teach us the skill. That's good. I have to say, it's the Poplar area itself. It's only starting to get recognised now. And the one thing that I probably like to talk about before we move on to other things is the number of fried chicken and unhealthy eating options in contrast to the healthier option. What's your view and opinion of that?
I think obviously businesses have a right to operate, and if they want to open, you know, stuff like that, I would obviously go for a healthier option. It's something that I don't eat, and it would be very rare.
We all do, don't we? But
yeah, but it would be very rare. Yeah. The temptation is there, but you have to obviously hold yourself back. But with the child, you know, it's very different, isn't it? And because of the pricing as well, it's available at a cheap rate. So I think, yeah, people and children need to be more health conscious about it. Obviously, businesses have a right to exist and continue with their business. But yeah, so we've been supporting other businesses there. So Zach Bai, who's got a few businesses there, as you are aware. There's hotels going to be built there as well. There's 2 hotels coming up. So the demographics are changing, you know, and new businesses are going there. And I mean, we should congratulate them. They take huge risks and they're entitled to their profits and the stuff they do. And I think, you know, with that, imputing that social responsibility, it works well with the community, you know, and the community can benefit from that. And they create jobs as well. And some of the local people are working there. And I'm sure once the hotels are up and running, you know, and that's an industry that, you know, both of these hotels are, you know, going to be created by Bangladeshis, so which is fantastic.
It's a great certificate, great presentation for the area that Bangladeshis have opened hotels, which is brilliant. I have to talk about the big elephant in the room, and that is Canary Wharf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Poplar, you know,
we grew up looking at it, isn't it? The disparity, is huge, isn't it? It's absolutely
what
huge.
I find amazing is, I mean, you know, the funny thing is, even when I go around, people, where do you live? It's a stone's throw away from Canary Wharf.
Yeah,
that's not even a metaphor. It's literally a stone's throw.
It is.
But I mean, you've seen Canary Wharf now. What role has Canary Wharf as the square and, you know, the multi-million pound banking industry that's come so close to this?
Yeah, I think recently with the Black Ridge development, what we've been trying to do, I'll come back to your question, in the community. So Splash, I'm part of Splash, I'm a trustee of Splash, I've been for a number of years, you know. And so what we've been trying to do is, again, impute that social responsibility, get something back for the community, you know, see what the developments are, what's happening, making the local community aware, and also getting the leaders of our community involved and elected representatives, namely the mayor. So there was a meeting that was held in Poplar surrounding that. So I think we have to look at those options. Obviously, it's a massive subject, and what it is, one would think, you know, all that wealth there, you know, and it accumulate and create jobs and create wealth for local people. And unfortunately, that hasn't happened, you know, and more needs to be done. And it can't be just on a token basis. You know, we had 10 people employed in Canary Wharf, at what stage, you know, what level, and so on. And I think in relation to the 90s, in comparison to the 90s to now, you know, we have highly qualified members in our community, and there's a high graduate unemployment issue as well. And we should be looking, you know, there has to be a political will, the community and everyone coming together, you know, finding jobs for local people, you know, in those sectors, and especially the hierarchy. And we should have some sort of policy in terms of, you know, where BME community are in management, and there should be within their workplace, you know, procedures and training available to them and offered to them by senior management, so that they grow and they go to the top of, you know, whether they work in a local government or so on. And it's actually reflective in a local government, because if you look at the hierarchy of the management, it's all white, isn't it? So more needs to be done. And the other thing is, you know, if I may bring that up, so if you look at Wilmore School, and Muna, who's a community activist, she works there as a TA. She's done so much for that community. Muna Mohammed, a Somalian lady who you and I know, you know, very well, very active member of our community. And she was saying, you know, to me the other day, look, how is this even possible? You've got, you know, over 95% BME, Bangladeshis and Somalians and black, you know, children going to Wilmore School, and all of the teachers are white. All of the teachers are white, and it's unbelievable. And you know, I think we need to look at those areas and see, you know, obviously people have a right to jobs and employment and to apply for it. But when you have any vacancies available, and if there are BME, it should reflect the community. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
So I think, Canary Wharf, the job creation there, we should benefit. Local people should benefit from Tower Hamlets, as well as, in the council. In Tower Hamlets Council, it should reflect the community. The workforce should reflect the community, and same goes for local schools.
It's interesting because sometimes you completely overlook that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a good point. That sort of startled me.
Because then children can relate, and do things and have that confidence and trust. Not that, teachers are fantastic and they do a great job for us, And, my belief is, our parents have given birth to us, but it's actually our teachers who have taught us most of the stuff that we know.
And it's so true, actually, and that's probably what makes us more integrated into the society. We're coming to the close of the show. I'm actually you're going to be the very first person to try this. We've decided. NTV has said we need to put our guests.
What have you got under your skills, Hasnath?
The last few minutes that we've got, we're going to put our guest to the test. We're going to have a little fun word game with you, Canary, and you're going to have to tune into my show every week to know how well you've done, because you'll be up against all of my other guests. We're going to play a word game. I'm going to say a word or a couple of words, and what I'm going to expect from you in return is a one-word response that's related to that word. So, for example, if I said to you day, you'd respond to me whatever came to your head first, probably night. Right. So whether it's an opposite or it's something the same, but you're going to give me one-word answers, and then we've got a set of words.
This
here.
Sounds very difficult. I'm very bad with tests.
I think you just made that evident. But you know what? You showed that a failure in test can be a success, so I'm going to be the first one. So for the next few minutes, Karba is going to be put to the test. Have a go at home, and you can tweet me Hasnath456, or you can email me hasnath@ntveurope.net on your response to this. But I'm going to give you a go. So I'm going to say the words. When you're ready, you give me a one-word response, and then I'll let you know next week how you got on. Okay, so here we go. Our guest to the test. We're going to play a word game. So, Karba, you ready for this? Okay, let me start with the first word, and I want a quick fire response for you. So the first word is health.
Food.
Chair.
Sit.
Community.
Integration.
England.
Union Jack.
Nation.
Unity.
Theresa May.
Not very good.
One word.
Oh. PM.
Okay, I'll accept that. Film.
Horror.
Alan Sugar.
The boss. Boss.
City.
Wealth.
People.
Nice.
Estate.
Establishment.
David Beckham.
Victoria.
Asset.
Finance.
Law.
Presidents.
Mo Farah.
Running.
Okay. That's how you done. What's going to decide on how well Karba is done? We're going to disclose actually next week, but it's a little thing. I think we're going to be deciding whether it's down to characters, whether it's down to syllables. So actually, I've just done that with you now. How I could tell it just immediately makes you nervous, doesn't it? But
it does. It does.
How did you feel about actually
especially live on air and you've been tested? So yeah, I was slightly nervous, but I thought, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, having done it, it's okay now. I feel relieved.
Good. Yeah. Well, we're gonna put it up on the table. Karba, I hope you will continue to stay in touch with NTV Exclusive. I hope you'll watch our show every Friday. Some of my guests that will be coming up. I just want to probably get your outtake on them. I'm going to avoid the politicians that might be coming up here, who are here to talk about the community. But Have you heard of MAR, Maternity Aid Association?
No.
Okay, so they're a charity that are working with doctors in Bangladesh to improve maternity and labour wards in Bangladesh.
Wow, fantastic.
So, you know,
fantastic.
I'm hoping you'll spend some time in a few weeks to watch that with us, yeah?
I shall.
I've just been told I've run out of time, so I can't even get your opinion on that.
Fantastic.
That's all we've got time for.
Yes,
alhamdulillah. A big thank you to Kahar Bhai for joining us on the show. And no doubt, inshallah, we'll see you sometime again soon.
Thank you very much.
Please come back for us. We've got to go, so inshallah, join us next week where we've got a special group coming. It's the Young Inventors, inshallah. So if all goes well, the Young Inventors from Whitechapel, they'll be joining me on the studio, and we'll talk about that exclusive idea into Hamdas. That's all I've got time for. I've got to run, inshallah. All the best, and we'll see you next Friday. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.